everyone, and welcome to my Minecraft beta tutorial number 1, setting up Minecraft. Now, you may think I'm just going to jump into the game and show you the game, but no, I'm going to be nice and smart and show you how to get the game. So we're going to go ahead and clear out of this and head over to here, http://www.minecraft.net. It is very simple. If you don't even want to mess with your URL address bar, just Google Minecraft, and generally you're going to find this place. Now, you're able to do a few things, but no matter what you do, you must register first, which isn't much. You just choose yourself a username. Be sure to choose a username you like, because it will be with you for the rest of this game for forever. So make it a nice one. I chose one of my general account names. I had never really thought of using this as something for my Failure Fox account, otherwise I would have called it that. Password, retype your password, your email, and then your proof of purchase, I guess. Then it's just register. Then you can either buy or just play Minecraft. You can play Minecraft in your browser or in your download. So that is beta, and unless you buy it, you cannot play beta. Instead, you can play Minecraft Classic in single player or multiplayer. I would suggest single player because I don't think there's very many multiplayer left. There's a few other things here on this page, but generally the most important parts are World of Notch here and buying stuff. I will take you through a couple of interesting things after you've registered and logged in probably number 3. As it is, once you've registered and bought, most of it's pretty self-explanatory. Afterwards, if you've purchased it, download the beta, and you will then have a little launcher here that's on the desktop. I do believe or wherever you put it, I should say. I do believe there is a little bit to it. In fact, actually, we'll go ahead and check the download section so you can see how it works. For Windows, just download this exe, put it anywhere, and then it will work. There is a tiny chance this one will not work, in which you will just click on this one. For OS or Macintosh, I'm not sure exactly how that one works. And for Linux, I know even less, which is too bad. Now, as I said, once you've got Minecraft working, you will have this screen. This is why you need to have your actually, let's leave this minimized for now. This is why you need to have registered, you need your username and password to even play the game. You don't need to buy it unless you're playing beta. Again, Mojang specifications. And now we're finally here in Minecraft. Now there are 4 options here as you first begin the game. First is single player, which I highly recommend to just get the hang of it, and I will be doing all of my tutorials in because I know no multiplayers. Here you have 5 worlds to choose from. If you delete or copy and paste them somewhere else, you can actually have probably as many worlds as you like, but these are the ones that are in the folder for the worlds, and the only ones you can access at a time. This is my master world. It has a lot more stuff than it looks like it does, and this is something for later. For now, I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to explain the rest of the menus. Multiplayer, this is where you enter an IP address for a multiplayer server, in which case you can go ahead and play and build with other people, and sometimes you get a jerk on there that destroys your stuff, or sometimes you're a jerk and destroy their stuff. The reason why this says localhost is because I was trying something and discovered I cannot do it. I wanted to try and host a local server on my own machine, but my machine is not powerful enough for it, unfortunately. If I had a good up-to-date desktop, I'd be able to do it easy. Mods and texture packs. I don't know anything about this, so if anyone really wants me to show these, then I will go ahead and discover how. But unfortunately, I will only be able to show you how to do it on Windows Vista. I do not have Macintosh. Not a big fan of Macintosh myself, but that is something else. If you really want to know without asking me, there are other tutorials out there. In fact, the Minecraft Wiki is a very good place for it too. Options. Now here's what I want to show off. There is options here. For one, you would like to change your music down to maybe 50%, 25%, because when music shows up, it's rather loud. I have it off because often I will add my own music, and the music only comes up every once in a while anyway. Sound. Make sure you put it down to maybe 50%, especially when you start playing, because if you wander around and you hear something weird, it will scare the galls out of you. Sensitivity is your mouse sensitivity. It makes it go super crazy, super slow, depending on it. Now, it does not actually change your sensitivity of your mouse as so much as how the game reacts when you move the mouse. Invert mouse, that's if, you want to go up and down like this, upside down. So up is down and down is up. Render distance. This is a very important one, actually. Render distance, there are 4 render distances. There is tiny, there is short, there is normal, and there is far. What render distance will do is it will essentially render the world, or create the world, or both of them actually, I should say, as you move around, and this depends on the distance it will do it from you. So far, it will, as far as you can see, it will create world. I mean, there will be no fog or anything. You can almost see forever, and conceivably. You do not, of course. You only see like maybe one chunk at most, but that's a freaking large distance. That's maybe 2 kilometers. I'm not really sure. Normal, generally what you want to use, you won't have to worry about very much with normal. Yep. I apologize, I just confused myself. Normal is what I'm going to use because my, whatchamacallit... Wow, I just realized I did something stupid over here. Because, my recording does not like to, really go very smoothly on far, which I normally have. Short and tiny are basically for if you have a computer that does not like even normal. It's essentially just if you can, how far your computer will render or wants to work without going slow. View bobbing basically simulates you walking forward, because if you walk, you will go up and down. This is fact. Go try it. Oh, finish this thing, go try it. 3D anaglyph. Oh, by the way, about view bobbing, if it does give people problems, I will turn it off, but I normally have it on because I like it, and I feel weird without it now. 3D anaglyph. This puts the game in 3D. It's actually surprisingly good. I have a hard time seeing 3D no matter what with the special blue and red glasses. In fact, I have a hard time seeing 3D, period. But I can't see it, so I don't live in a two-dimensional world, at least. It's neat, but it's not the most awesome thing ever. If you really want to play the game in 3D for a while, do it. It's fun. It doesn't really screw up whatchamacallit. It does not really put much more strain on your computer, so it's not bad. It's just there's a couple of things that limit it, like the fact that anything in the blue and red 3D actually turns everything black and white, even though it's 3D. You'll probably figure that out eventually if you do it yourself. Anyway, turn it on if you want to have fun with that. Limit frame rate. This is another performance thing. If you do not limit your frame rate, the game will look as smooth as possible. It will look like gravy. Or not gravy, but silk. I mean, it is crazy smooth. But it can slow your computer down, which will make it choppy, which is kind of Graphics. There are 2 versions of graphics in this game, at least at now. There is fancy, which makes everything look nicer, of course. And specifically, I like the clouds because they are blocks instead of just this kind of sheet that Fast has. But for recording purposes, I will probably have on Fast because I have a hard time recording with fancy graphics because it just puts too much strain for recording. And difficulty. There are 4 difficulties. There is peaceful, which is super easy. This is holding your hand easy. There are no baddies. There are you take very little damage from anything that you do to yourself, and if you take damage, you regenerate your health, which is really, yeah. A lot of people seem to consider peaceful cheating. I do not, but I will not for the purposes of this playthrough, or sorry, these videos anyway. I will not have it on peaceful at all. Normally, I will have it on normal. A lot of times in the past, I've turned it on peaceful in order to deal with some certain things in the nether or to take care of things, a large project that I was tired of falling off and dying and over again. As it is, it's not something to be ashamed of using, but you can do better. Easy is my recommendation for starting this game. You still take damage, you don't regenerate health. You take not quite as much damage as you could, at least in my experience. There are still baddies too, but it's a little forgiving, it seems. I suggest this because that way you get used to the game being after you instead of like, oh, this is just fun to play around. Because on peaceful, really, it's just like creative mode, except you have to hunt for your blocks, and that's kind of boring. On easy, you actually have some survival. Normal is more difficult than easy. There are a few mobs that are not, or enemies, I should say, or baddies, which is more fun to say, that are not in easy, like the skeleton riding a spider. Yes, I said that, and I've seen it. I ran away. And you take a little bit more damage, and there are a lot more enemies. Then there is hard, which is like normal, but plus 12. I will be playing on normal. Now the important part is the controls. If you are unused to any kind of controls in a video game, such as a MMO or a three-dimensional MMO or a first-person shooter, you should get used to this. Forward is W, back is S, left is A, right is D. You can reassign any of these keys, but try and get used to this first, because not only is it used in a lot of games, but it is one of the most efficient right-handed ways of using your controls. I apologize. I was interrupted and I'm confused now. La. If you look down at the keyboard, at the keys WSAD, you will see they actually do make a sort of arrow keys that your arrow keys on the right make, the same shape, which is very useful, or basically why we use that for most games. Spacebar is for jumping, and I will actually explain a little bit about that in the game. Left shift is for sneaking around, which I will also explain in the game. Q is to drop an item, which a lot of people will change to maybe like R or something because it is so close to W that they forget, or if they accidentally hit Q and they drop an item instead of run forward. You can always pick up the item so long as you don't throw it in lava or down a pit, but a lot of times people don't like doing that. I is for inventory, which is a little self-explanatory, but I will also explain in-game. T is for chat, which is for multiplayer chat, which, if you were playing on a multiplayer server, would make sense. And F changes it's called toggle fog, but it is not really fog. It's referred to as fog because that is what happens when your render distance is less than far. You get a sort of fog in the distance. Now, there is a trick with fog that I will explain in-game as well, but that is later on. Now, that is all I'm going to show off for today. Next time, we will actually click on or enter single player, and we will go ahead and show off a lot of things. As for now, this is all I've got for you today, so I will see you guys next time. Later.